ladies and gentlemen, I can see so many of you here, keep working on that goal. So before we kicked off, we said, what is that one objective you want to take away from today's event, conference, whatever you want to call it, right? And that might evolve throughout the day. So keep holding to that. And I love when Adil talked about unlearning, because oftentimes हमें लगता है we've learned a certain something, but as we keep, because the world is changing, no doubt about that. AI has come in so much more. So let's also be willing to let go of those thought processes if it doesn't serve us anymore. With that, I think, let's once again officially kick off with our first agenda of the day. I know you guys have downloaded it, the QR codes were on your seat. So we're going to now dive into building what matters, from ideas to impact. I know I'm very curious to understand what this is, because oftentimes ideas bahut hote hain, lekin they don't come to life, right? What stops them? What happens in the process? I'm very interested to know from Wasif Khan, who's with us today. He's the CEO of Nova Care Private Limited and DVAGO Pharmacy. I'm not sure if you know him, but if you don't, today is your opportunity to get to know him. And as I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. We have a revolving mic that's going around, so we will come to you. Wasif, with that, I'm going to invite you to the stage, please, to take them away with this particular segment, Building What Matters, from Ideas to Impact.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Adil, and the PSTG team for inviting me today to speak to this august audience, I would say. The future, the youth of Pakistan and the world, the change makers. And you are the people who are going to be the disruptors, the builders, the change makers. So I think you are the most important people for this country and now the whole world, because it's a global village now. So thank you very much for being here. And it is always exciting and inspiring to talk to the youth, because there's so much ahead for you guys, and it's exciting times if you all see this from a positive landscape, right? So normally I talk ex-tempo, but today I thought that I would like to, just so that I have something prepared, which I wrote myself also, but I want to go through that with you in a structured manner. Right. So first of all of us sitting in this room, we would have ideas, right? Some of you would have ideas about your career. Some of you would have ideas about business that you want to build. Some of you would have ideas about changing your family's future. That's very important also, because we do live in a developing world, in a developing country. So we want to change things for our family, right? And some of you would have ideas about creating something meaningful for the communities that we live in, for the society. But the real question is that ideas are only thoughts. What is the real thing is the impact. And impact happens through execution. So an idea is great to have, but if you don't execute it and execute it properly, then it's no good. Execution is difficult, and consistency is even more difficult. So executing an idea and then being consistent on that day in, day out, that's the real game. If you talk about successful people, successful organizations, people who are able to create a mark in this world. For that, you need discipline. Real impact, when we talk about real impact, that improves not only your own life, but it improves the people around you, it improves the organizations, the communities, and the society. And it is more than intelligence that we require, clarity, we require courage, and we require to take the right action. And life, as they say, life and career, they're not straight lines, right? So you would see ups and downs in your life and your career. I hope every one of you is blessed by God and you have a great life ahead. However, there will be ups and downs in life and career. So, you have to show resilience. Resilience is one of the key leadership capability that you need to develop in yourself. Otherwise, you will fall short of what your true potential is. So today I want to share some lessons from my own journey with you. I don't have the perfect answers, but some practical learnings from my real life, business challenges, and real people that I've worked with. I've been fortunate enough to work in different industries, FMCG, retail, and now e-commerce is also there that I'm working for. And all of this, working in multinational and local organizations, there was diversity. So there was diversity of ideas, diversity of people, and when we talk about diverse people, it's not just about gender diversity, it's about all of us come from different backgrounds, different thoughts, and when we club together all of this diversity, and if we respect diversity, if we accept diversity, if we absorb diversity, then we can become powerful as one team. So one thing that I have clearly learned is that business is not built in the boardrooms. So I have worked my way up from different positions that I worked for PepsiCo, Unilever, Reckitt Benckiser, Cadbury. It's built in the marketplace. It's built while you have discussions with your team. It's built when you visit warehouse, when you visit the trade. So the experience that I have built, I'm talking about that. And it's built with difficult conversations that I have had over the years, 25 years of my career, whether they were my direct reports, my seniors, my peers. So most importantly, it is built by people like you and me. So systems, technology, all of that is very important. And processes, of course. However, everything is built by people. So the most important aspect that you need to work on is your interpersonal skills, your communication skills, your collaborative skills, your influencing skills. Because if you're not able to collaborate and influence, then you will not be able to achieve whatever you are planning to do. Growth came from many small moments, showing up every day, learning from people, accepting tough assignments. That is something I did. When I was in PepsiCo, I was, in one of my positions, I was based in Lahore. However, an opening came up in Islamabad. I had just recently gotten a house and my family was all settled in Lahore. And the head office was also in Lahore. But the position that came up was something that was giving me a new learning experience. And that's what I thought. Wow, so I need to take this experience. This will help me build a career web model. So if you build a career web, which is diverse experiences, that will help you when you come to a senior position. Today I also want to talk about the 5 principles in my life and career that have helped shape me. I call them the 5 P's. First is purpose. Second is positivity. Third is passion. The fourth is perseverance. And the fifth is patience. Purpose is your reason. Purpose is your direction. Purpose is your inner compass. If you don't have a purpose in life, in whatever you're doing, you will feel lost. Getting up from bed every day, every morning would seem a struggle. So, find your purpose. That's extremely important. Why should I do it? The why. Answer the why before you get into the what. The why needs to be clear, as Simon Sinek has also said so. If your purpose is weak, every difficulty looks like a reason to quit. Isn't it so? So, the purpose should be strong. It will make your journey, a difficult journey, more purposeful and something you would enjoy all through your life. Because at the end, let me tell you, if you all are chasing a destination, then that will never be there. It is the journey we all need to enjoy. And at times we forget that and we are looking for the destination. And when we reach a destination, we see, okay, so what's the big thing in it? So enjoy the journey with the purpose in there, right? The second P I spoke about was positivity. Your mindset shapes your possibilities, especially in these times that we are living, with all that is happening around the world and somewhat in our country also. It is extremely important that we keep a positive mindset. Positive mindset does not mean that you ignore the reality. That is not so. It does not mean that you pretend that problems do not exist. Real positivity means looking at the challenge and saying that this is difficult, but there must be a way forward. So, if you have a positive mindset, whatever problem or difficulties you would look at, you would try to find a solution to that. So that is what positive-minded people are always full of opportunities and solutions that they seek. Whereas if you keep a negative mindset, which is very easy to keep, where we're living and all that, but and you see a lot of negative-minded people around us, right? And it is infectious. So you need to be the change maker. You need to have that positive mindset to change your life and to change the life of others. Positivity is a leadership step. Let me tell you that. If you are going to be a negative-minded individual as a professional, wherever you work, then your team, your organization, the people around you will not respect you and will not trust you and will not feel comfortable with you. So it's going to spread to others also through you. The third P is passion. Passion is about bringing energy, ownership and hunger. As they say, fire in your belly. If you don't have the fire in your belly, then you will be able to do the task, whatever you're doing, whether you're studying right now or you're going to start your career, whatever you do in life. But passion is extremely important for winning, for succeeding, for taking others along in a successful manner. So find your passion. A lot of times people say, I'm not passionate about this, so I'm leaving that. No, it's not so easy. You need to get into the thick of things. You need to do the task. You need to go through the motion, and then you can find your passion. It's not something on and off switch, I would say. But passion must be practical. Passion is not just about emotional excitement. Passion must show in your preparation also. It must show in your discipline. A lot of times we think that passion is all about hoo-ha and saying, yeah, we will do this and that. But that's not just passion. That motivation that you have, that will go down, as the human psychology says that you can't keep it up, the motivation aspect all the time. So what will keep you going is the discipline. That is extremely important. So to be passionate means someone who's prepared, someone who takes responsibility, someone who follows through on what the commitment he or she has made. That is important. The person who does not say, this is not my job. You see, you listen to this in the corporate world or anywhere else also. I've been given this stuff, this is not my job. That's not being passionate, It's going beyond the call of duty, going above and beyond. That will make you stand out in life and in your career. In my career, I've always believed that whatever role you're doing, do it with full ownership. Whether you're managing a territory, a team, or building a function, or running a complete organization, which I'm doing right now. Bring your full energy with it. Because sometimes the role may look small, but your attitude towards the role creates your future. gentlemen, this is extremely important. What is your attitude towards work? There's no small or big role. There are no small or big titles. Every one of you is a leader if you keep the right attitude. So that is your stepping stone. When you start your career, there will be a smaller role you'll start with. But your attitude will define your success. So please stay with a positive attitude and be passionate about it. The next P, the fourth P I spoke about, was perseverance. Keep going when it gets difficult. Extremely important. This is one of the most important leadership credentials to succeed, whether before us or even now, that what we are facing in this world. But very few people are ready for the struggle behind it. The truth is that meaningful success takes time. There will be failures, as I said earlier. There will be delays. There will be criticism. There will be moments when you feel the effort is not being noticed. And there will be moments when you question your own self. It's natural. But perseverance means that you do not stop because the road is difficult. You learn, you adjust, you pivot, you improvise, you improve, and you continue. So this is extremely important, that you need to keep the learning curve, not that after university you stop the learning. There's so much to learn with the digital age there, the AI, and all other skills, like the softer skills, your functional skills, your softer skills, all of this needs to be learned. And you need, the learning curve always needs to be there. Unlearn, relearn, unlearn, relearn. And then you need to adjust. So being able to pivot, being able to adapt is also a very important leadership credential. You need to adapt to situations, adapt to people, adapt to environment. If you're not adaptable, then you will face problems in your life. Being adaptable does not mean that you give away on your purpose. So there is a fine line between that, right? In leadership, perseverance is essential because transformation never happens overnight. Good things take time to happen. Good things take time to mature. So if you want to build a business, you need perseverance. If you want to build a career, you need perseverance. If you want to build a team, you need perseverance. And if you want to build your own credibility, you need perseverance. When we talk about turning ideas into impact, as the topic that has been given to me, this is where many people stop. They have the idea, they start with excitement, but when the first challenges come, they lose energy. Impact belongs to those who continue after the initial excitement is gone. So as I spoke earlier, that initial excitement does come, but it will be difficult to maintain it. So you need to persevere. A student who keeps studying when results are not immediate. A young professional who keeps improving after feedback. A leader who keeps building despite resistance. An entrepreneur who keeps solving problems after repeated setbacks. That is perseverance, ladies and gentlemen. Being consistent is extremely important for your long-term growth and success. Your organizations, and the people around you. The last but not the least key is patience. As I said, great things are built over time. So the fifth P, as I say, for my own life, is that patience is a virtue. This is especially more important and true in today's world. We live in a time when everyone wants fast success, isn't it so? Fast promotions, fast money, fast recognition, fast results, instant gratification. But that is not how long-term sustainable growth is built. So patience you will have to keep so that you don't get frustrated. And when you see people, successful people, probably at times we see the success, but we don't see the sacrifice. We see the stage, but we don't see the silent hard work that they've put in. Patience does not mean being slow. A lot of time people think it's about being slow. No, it's not about being slow. Patience means understanding the process. You need to understand the process. That's extremely important. A stronger career is built over time. A strong reputation is built over time, not in one instance. And a business is also built over time. And a leader, which all of you are, is also built over time. So when I look at my own journey, I realize that every phase had a purpose. The early roles taught me discipline. Sales roles taught me about the market, trade and shopper marketing, taught me about consumer behavior. Leadership roles taught me about people, strategy, execution, accountability, and taking others along with you. Sometimes when you're young, you may feel that you're not moving fast enough. You are slow, or the world around you is a bit slow. But every sincere effort that you put in building something inside you, like confidence, judgment, maturity, resilience, and wisdom, that will help you succeed on a sustainable long-term basis. So my message to all of you is, be ambitious, but don't be impatient. Move fast, but respect the process. Dream big, but build step by step. From ideas to impact, the practical formula to success. So, ladies and gentlemen, how much time do you have? I would say to all of you, the students, all of you are over here are the students or young professionals? Students, right? So, I want to say something from my heart. That you're entering a world full of opportunity, but also full of competition. Degrees are important, but degrees only will not be enough. You will need skills. You will need communication. You will need confidence. You will need adaptability, extremely important. You will need emotional intelligence. You will need the digital understanding of today's world and the future that it holds. You will need the ability to work with people. So just being on your mobile, on your laptop, and just having the digital skills probably will not be enough for a sustained long-term growth. You need to be good at managing people, building relationships with people, collaborating with people and influencing people. So learn. Learn from your teachers, learn from your internships, learn from every project and learn from your failure. And learn from every person that is better than you, who you look up to. So find your mentors. This is extremely important. That is that positions will change with time. Companies will change wherever you work. Markets will change. But one thing that will not change is the impact that you create. People will remember you through the impact you create in people's lives. The values you live by, the teams you build, and the problems you solve will determine your impact. So my final message to all of you ladies and gentlemen is, do not just build a career, build credibility. Do not just build income, salary, business wealth. Build value. And do not just build status, build character. Extremely important in today's world. And do not just build ideas, build impact. Because build something which matters to you and to this whole world and the communities that we live in. Thank you very much. God bless you all and good luck with your future endeavors.